We have the story from CBS News. U.S. birth rate hits all-time low, according to the CDC. This is a cascade effect that is going to compound. And so in the previous segment, we were talking about how double-income households is a trap. Shout out to Elizabeth Warren, of all people, who had been talking about this 20 years ago. But it basically drives wages down, increased costs. There's a compounding effect to a declining birth rate that makes birth rates get lower and lower, and that is... Here's a simple explanation. Why are there no more McDonald's play places? Because people don't have kids. So McDonald's says the amount of money it costs to make a play place is greater than what we will return. Stop doing it. Now for the people who have kids, they're going, well, we can no longer go there because we used to go there and the kids would be entertained while we ordered food. I mean, kind of good to a certain extent. Awesome. But more importantly, the bigger example is
traps. But yes,
it's becoming more and more expensive for baby items. For baby clothes, for high chairs, for rubber baby buggy bumpers, because the less people who have kids...
Got to do it in an Arnold voice.
Rubber baby I can't do it. So what happens is, the less people that are buying it, the less volume is sold, and so the manufacturers increase cost to make up for a loss in volume, meaning that it's becoming exponentially more expensive to buy the items your child needs, which is a prohibitive factor. So young people say, I can't afford what child needs, so I can't have kids. Well, if I don't have kids, there's no demand for the products, so it gets more expensive.
The only way to cheat code that is to keep the stuff and have more kids, and they all use it, which is my tactic. I've got four.
But even in that regard, what's happening now is people young. So I was talking about. We've been talking about how Gen Z aren't having kids. We've been talking about how there's no 18-year-olds right now, so universities are collapsing. There's a university in Utah that was like 218 years old, went out of business because there's no 18-year-olds to enroll.
I love that, by the way.
And the reporting was that when the economic crisis happened, nobody was having children. So they said in 2008, 18 years from now, there will be a shortage of young people entering the workforce.
Interesting.
I never heard that, but I was one of those young people that was supposed to be starting my family. So now that I'm reading this news, being like, wow, isn't it funny that there are no 18-year-olds? Like, oh, it's because I didn't have one. Why didn't I have one? I was homeless. I was 22, 23, and I was sleeping on couches or park benches, and there were no jobs. And I started playing guitar in the subway to make whatever money I could. There's no way I was having a family.
Was this 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I graduated law school in 2007 and got out right as the market crashed and was just screwed.
So I remember going to a diner. I saw a job ad on Craigslist for a dishwasher. And I walked in, and the guy in front of me was wearing a suit with a briefcase. And I heard him as I was waiting to talk to the person at the counter, he hands a resume and goes, I'm here about the dishwasher position. And then I turned around and walked out. And I was like, holy crap. Although I was told later that was stupid because they probably would rather hire me than a guy in a suit.
Yeah, so here's the thing. My buddy Steve Friend is in this position right now. He got kicked out of the bureau. He's looking around for a job. He goes and it's like, he's a former cop. He's a Notre Dame graduate. He worked as an FBI agent for almost 10 years. He had a top secret clearance. He goes and you hand that in to like a security position. They're not going to hire you for that. Like, they're not going to hire you to do security. They're not going to hire you to manage some, like a grocery store or something. They're going to be like, dude, you were a freaking FBI agent for a decade. Like, you're going to leave this. So they won't hire you. They won't hire the guy with the briefcase to do dishwashing. I wouldn't.
You know what the problem is? You know why the birth rate's declining? Women.
Yeah, well, feminism.
But women could decide at any moment to tell men, you ain't getting on, like, I want marriage and I want a family. But I'm being somewhat...
I know. We could go upstream of that and say the dads need to be teaching that too. So I'm
being intentionally inflammatory, but it is feminism.
It is.
This idea that women can be promiscuous. There was this article in the New York Times called "The Trouble with Wanting Men," and it starts with a writer for the New York Times being like, "I went on a date with a guy," and then she goes on to describe the date. Then they went back to his place, had sex, and then a week later he says, "I'm not interested," and she's like, "Men are awful," and I'm like, or he's thinking, "Look, I want to find a wife, and you ain't it. You a hoe." You know what I mean?
There's this viral video that went out this week. You probably saw it. It's a pretty white lady. She's talking about being 32 years old. She's been married for a decade. She's got nothing wrong with her life, but she doesn't know who she is, and she hasn't been able to find herself, and so she wants to leave her husband. And so she's mapped it out. You want to play it?
Yeah, here we go.
It's so unsettling to me.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met. I can't be myself with my husband, and it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old, I am a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. I told my husband I wanted a divorce.
Yep.
Here's the worst thing in all of that. She says, I can't be myself around my husband, and I actually don't know who that person is. Not one thing that I hear was, I have 3 children, I have an obligation to provide them a stable home, and that those people are the most important thing, that my entire biological purpose is geared towards rearing them and making them successful humans. She never said it.
How about this bait?
Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever.
Feminism.
Oh my
It's the red hair, I was
God,
gonna say.
please.
It's
I'll take a
feminism.
She looks
fucking
crazy.
Construction worker cat call at this point.
You know what's funny? Remember 10 years ago when a woman couldn't walk down the street in New York without getting catcalled?
Right.
Women,
Well, they turned that off. And they said, guys, stop.
I tweeted about this today. Women will ask for something and then they will be miserable when they get it. It's like you're dealing with children. Honestly, it really is.
So that's why they said women and children first.
That's right. because if the men got out of there, the women and children would all die, obviously. But it's true. I mean, if you had a generation,
We're all getting canceled for this.
I've been canceled so many times. You had a generation of women that were just complaining about men all the time, saying men are so terrible, and you still hear them complain about it. And so men have said, well, okay, then I don't want to talk to you. Then I'm not going to go hang out with you. I don't want to. It's like you've got tattoos. You're probably a progressive woman. I don't want to talk to you. You hang out in these areas. You're probably this kind of woman. I don't want to talk to you.
She was talking about. Like, look at the things that she thinks that made her desirable.
Yeah.
Which
Her
is
tits
interesting,
bouncing?
right? She's like, oh, look, like you see me as a sexual object. Here I am, a sexual object, and none of it was like, I'm a really nice person. I'm super fun to hang out with. Like, I'm really loyal.
It's probably not.
I want to stress this point. I do believe there's a factor in younger guys that are moving to the right, and they look at a woman like this and they think she's liberal. I can't have a family with her. She's probably a feminist, and she looks like she's promiscuous. I want a woman who's going to be loyal, faithful, and not just sexually liberated.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Quitter attitude, though. To be fair, that's a quitter attitude.
There was a long time where I was single. I didn't date anyone, and I was probably single for like 2 or 3 years because I didn't meet a woman that was the type of woman that I wanted to date, right? And it's like some dudes are just like, well, I'll go ahead and date whoever, but those dudes are becoming fewer and fewer, and I met my girlfriend last year and we're super happy and she's great, but she wants to be a stay-at-home mom and she doesn't consider herself a feminist and she's not a progressive, and so she checked all the boxes that I was looking for.
There's more and more liability too, probably, for
Absolutely.
guys going out there. If you're just going to be jumping from relationship to relationship or fling to fling, in an internet world, in a world of you're immediately assumed to be the aggressor and all kinds of the sort of default positions against you.
Yep.
That sounds like I absolutely have so much pity for young men right now that are in this thing, and young women too, because they're going to have terrible outcomes. Look, I've got 3 daughters and 1 son, so I can see both of them growing up, and I look around at what's out there when we go to our community pool, when we walk through the grocery store, and I'm like, God bless it. Go to church. You want to go see some wholesome looking people? Go to a freaking traditional Latin mass. We went and started doing that down at the cathedral in downtown Austin, and you're going to see a totally different caliber of human being. They may not always be the most attractive, but the other thing is this, and you tell me this because this is going to be in your world pretty soon. How many of you guys actually remember being taught what the purpose of dating was, or did you figure it out as an adult?
But what do you mean the purpose of dating?
What is the checklist that what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what are you looking for, and how do you assess whether that thing is a win or not?
Well,
not a T app, but how do you know, like, what am I looking for compatibility? Am I looking for attractiveness?
There's an important point in this, in that dating, when I was growing up and I would watch these movies, going steady, dating meant you could be dating 10 guys.
Correct.
They would come to your house, you'd go see a movie, and then you'd watch the movie, share popcorn, and he'd be a gentleman and walk you back to your door. The next day, you'd go on a date with a different guy.
Yeah.
Then, once you figured out that you really liked one of those guys, the woman would go steady. And that would be the
There'd be like a Letterman jacket involved in that, maybe.
And they'd be like, wow, you're going steady, meaning you're no longer dating.
Yeah.
You're now you're going steady, and that's moving towards proposal, then engagement, and then marriage by 20 years old.
Like that was one of the conversations that I had with Sarah. I was like, look, I'm if I'm going to date someone, I'm dating with intent. The intent is to have a family, to get married, and those kind of things. If that's not something you're into, I'm not the guy for you.
Yeah.
That was a conversation,
and
like before we were even like really dating, like we were.
But you figured that out as an adult.
Yeah.
And my point to you is that I don't think that we're teaching young men, I don't think we're teaching young women as a society that there is actually a reason.
Who is teaching young men?
Right. Well,
women.
And what is because they're saying
problem.
what they want.
Single women,
Yeah.
single mothers, and female teachers are teaching young men. If there's
And
this is
it-
a meme now, but if there's a problem with young men, it is because of women.
And wait, there's more. Most journalists are female.
Yep.
True.
And most female journalists are single, unmarried, and living in New York.
100%.
Yeah, like I'm 24 and I started like seriously dating recently. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Go to church.
But listen,
I go to church every week. But
what if
where
there
the hose
was
That's a very salient question.
Well, the church is all
what did you
dudes.
just say?
Yeah, it's bad, dude.
What,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here,
One woman walks in and they'll tackle her.
Basically, yeah.
but you also have to, yeah. So it's go to church is a place to meet people, right? It used to be friend groups. That's how you meet people. That's how I met my wife, was through friends. But having a rubric to actually evaluate. So okay, you say I want a family, but what does that look like? It's like we have to share values. We have to share a view of the future, and we have to be willing to like make that other person's view of the future our own. If you're not into that, if you don't have those things going, if you can't assess those things, then you don't even know what you're asking. You're going out there, and like I said, like I'll remember, I was a kid in the 80s. Your girlfriend was like the prettiest girl that would willingly spend time with you. That's what a girlfriend was about. Am I wrong? No. It was like, who's pretty? Is someone prettier than that person? Like, that's not a good criteria when it comes to matching and having a financial future and having a family and raising children in a view.
And the problem right now is, it used to be throughout all of human history that a young boy and a young girl grew up in the same place or similar place. They had very similar jobs. A guy meets a woman. What do? I work with my mom and take care of the farm animals. I churn the butter. Oh, my mom did that. My sister does that. That's what I'm looking for. What do? I chop lumber. I chop wood and start fires and go hunting. It's like, that's what my dad did and my brothers do. I'm looking for that. Now, a dude from New York who is an accountant and went to school hoping to be a lawyer but never finished and just fizzled out.
This feels very specific.
Meets a woman who is from California who used to surf all the time, and they're like, maybe this will work. And it's like, dude, you guys could not be more different.
But if you had, so yeah, the backstory is part of it. But again, if they shared the same values, if they shared the same sort of view of the future, then that maybe works. But if they don't have that, if she comes from a different type of family that doesn't actually see that as a value, or maybe he doesn't know that's what he wants, or anything, we're not training our children. And I think,
but I'm describing urban society, because if you live in a rural area, you are still more likely to have a similar life to the average human.
Yeah.
You live in a rural area, probably got backyard chickens, probably still taking care of animals, probably still chopping wood, probably still going to church. You live in these cities, and you could live one block away from someone, and you're a metalhead who works at an accounting firm, and you meet a chick who is she's a teacher who studied feminist dance. And you're like, I went on a date. I met a chick on Tinder. She was pretty, but holy crap, did we not get along?
right.
Now, if you live in West Virginia, you're going to have a lot of similarities in the places you go, the things you see, and the traditional values. This is one of the biggest barriers, I think, to young people right now getting married, is how different everyone's become because of the internet, largely.
I think that living in cities is probably one of the, like, everyone tends to go do that when they're younger. They think that's where the action is, so they go. But I've got a sister who's just a couple years younger than me. She's single. She lives in New York City. She makes really good money. She thinks that's really important. And I was trying to, at one point I tried to give her this like advice, which, good big brother advice goes. But I was like, dude, go down to the bar where the firefighters hang out. Ask one of them, are one of your friends single, and can I take him on a date? Like, go meet a man who's masculine, because what you described too is a testosterone differential too, because testosterone is necessary for certain things, and it certainly goes away in a lot of the urban core. It doesn't mean there's not dudes that are not masculine, but at the end of the day, I can't go into a city anymore, like, and look around and go like, oh yeah, this is good. I look around and I see threats to my babies. I mean, that's what I see. I'm like, I might have to kill that crackhead. I may have to go and fight this dude. Like, I don't know what's happening here. I don't understand like all the dynamics of it. There's people driving recklessly. There's people that are drinking in the middle of the
To
day.
explain it to Ian.
Oh my God, I take them all out.
A health bar and a level number.
That's right.
And sometimes a skull next to floating above everyone's heads.
Oh,
But I have a bunch of them that I'm responsible for,
Yep. And those are green, and the bad guys are red.
potentially.
He sees green bars
certain
over
buildings
his
are outlined that like
Yeah, safe
supposed
zones.
to go there. Oh,
Safe
safe zones
zones.
are outlined.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
like threat zones. Do you see threat zones?
Yeah, and here's the
Find
thing.
out when
Like,
you get there.
I drive a big old truck right now, which I'm pretty thrilled about. And my wife and I were talking about our minivan, and I was like, "Do you want like an A-team van with a huge push bar in front of it? Because like that's what I think is safest."
Cowcatcher.
Yeah, I want to throw
Have you seen
throw
that?
people out of the way. When
Have
my
you seen?
car goes by.
There's that meme where it's like what a man is thinking walking through a mall with his girlfriend,
yeah,
and he's like,
Brett.
"I got an exit behind me. I got 2 exits in front of me. There's stairs to my left. That man in front of me looks like he might be reaching for something." And then it shows the winch. She goes, "La da ba da ba da 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 and ba da ba."
Yeah. There's another one where they played Gwen Stefani. I'm just a girl in the world. It's the same sort of attitude, though.
They don't want to have to think about it. They want to rely on you.
Listen, that's fine because that's what if you sign up for that,
100%.
then that's what you want. It's like,
That's what
my
my
job.
dad would do because he was a Marine and a firefighter. Whenever we'd go somewhere, he'd be like, "Where are your exits?" And then I'd look around and he'd be like, "Always know your exits are."
It's just teaching you situational awareness, which is what young men need to do. And then here's the other thing, which is something I've been teaching my kiddos. It's like when I say we're moving, we're leaving. If I tell my wife that, you cannot freeze. You got to go. You don't have to know what happens next. You have to be able to go with me. If I tell you there's danger, we're leaving.
I was in Athens with my wife and daughter, and we were living in Athens for a little bit, and we were walking through like the square, right? Athens people protest all the time. Athens, Greece. They protest nonstop. And so all of a sudden we see these incoming rounds of like tear gas hitting and exploding and everything's going on. And I pick my daughter up and start carrying her away. What does my wife do? She gets out her cell phone.
Starts
She
recording.
stands right here and just like is filming. I've got the video, dude. I'll have to share it with you. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
That's terrifying.
let's go. Let's go.
How many people have just completely lost survival instincts, though? And that's where they go. They go straight to the phone. They walk around. I watched somebody get run over by a freaking earth mover the other day. Did you see this in like New York City? Like she got thumped by the bucket, and then she got run over because she was looking at a text message. Like it can't be that important when you're
walking while she was doing it.
Yeah, dude.
Stand still while you're looking at your phone in the
was.
city.
Find a thing and put your back to it.
But back against the wall. Stand still.
It's such an unnatural and illogical thing for human beings to do in a high threat environment where there's like other people, there's moving objects, there's all this other like all these things could happen. There's holes, there's manholes that are not well secured, and you're just gonna walk around and put your face into this thing. My nightmare is when I don't know where I'm going in an urban area and I have to look at my phone for like directions. It's GPSing me, and I'm like, oh god, I hate breaking focus and looking down at that thing because
I like
that's when bad things happen.
Literally, I'll
We
entrench
just,
against the building to do it, and like down and up, like I'm driving. The threats
just-
potential threats coming at me.
We just bought a bunch of those anti-choke devices for babies.
Explain what that is. I don't know.
It's a mask you put over you squeeze it and put over, and then like you when you squeeze it, it sucks. So if the baby's choking on something,
It's a suction device.
yeah, because baby is at the point where she's just jamming anything she can find in her mouth.
The best.
Yeah,
I still remember how a lot of things felt when I chewed on them.
strange things.
both hands.
Yeah.
Boys.
Especially when you like look over and you're like, oh, okay, it's good. And then you look over and it's like, your child is ingesting like a quarter for some reason.
Yeah.
And you're thinking like, what would make you do that? I've literally told my kids, I've watched a couple of them go through that phase, and it's like, hey, take that out of your mouth, and they're like, got it. You mean permanently? Because I'm about to go eat it right now again as soon as you walk away.
permanently?
You should have taken that from me. You knew better.
Yes.
That's your fault, Dad.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, the babies just shove stuff in their mouths. That's what they do.
That's what babies did.
Like baby proofing is serious business.
I had a sibling, and I can't remember which one it was, that would. This is that 80s thing. We used to put out snail pellets in California.
What?
Snail pellets are these like compressed things. They look like the food that you'd give to like goats, right? So they're like a little pill-shaped thing, and for some reason they kill snails. I don't exactly know how they work. It's
Salt,
magic.
maybe?
Yeah, they just throw them out there, and then the snails would not eat like your roses or whatever. And I remember coming out, and one of my parents lost their minds because one of my little siblings, one of my little brothers, was like walking through, and he was just eating the snail pellets, just pulling them right out of the rose planter. And you're looking over, and they're just eating. Maybe it was just salt, maybe it wasn't toxic, or maybe it was really toxic, and that's why they're like that. He's a lawyer now, so.
It is metal
Happened to me.
metaldehyde,
Is that what it is? You're looking it up?
highly toxic. iron phosphate.
Yeah.
It couldn't have tasted good either.
If it's iron phosphate, it's safer for pets in the environment.
Okay, they were red, so probably iron phosphate sounds
That
right.
makes sense.
Yeah. Still not great. Probably not the thing you should be eating. It's like the same thing as looking down and seeing kids like eating. We had a brother, maybe of one of my buddies, that was eating rabbit pellets. Like turds.
Gross.
And he thought they were chocolates. He just saw them on the ground. They look a lot like chocolates.
He couldn't tell by the taste.
He was like a 2-year-old. He was in that phase where he just eats stuff.
You do know that rabbits actually have two different types of things that come out of their butts.
I did not know this.
One is actually food for the rabbit, and one is waste. Because rabbits eat grass, and grass is hard to digest.
Sure.
I know this because we had a couple pet rabbits. They eat the grass, and then it goes to their system. They crap it out, and it is still grass. They turn around and eat it.
Got it. It's like a second pass through the metabolism.
Yep.
Phil told me he gets to tend the rabbits. Is that true?
Pardon me?
You get to tend the rabbits?
I told you no such thing.
You said you get to tend the rabbits.
Never said that.
He's like our Lenny.
Nothing like that at all. I don't know why you're trying to throw me under the bus.
I'm just giving you a mice and men reference. I
was
thought
just
you were the one who was
Mice and men?
It's called cecotrope.
Cecotrope.
Soft, nutrient-rich droppings they produce from their cecum.
You get to tend the rabbits.
They're small, shiny clusters like grapes,
Yeah, they are shiny.
and they eat it directly out of their anus.
The shiny ones are the
Wow,
good
they
ones.
go
you can
right
eat.
for it.
Yeah.
The shiny ones you can eat.
They
It
can
says
actually
rabbits eat cecotropes directly from their anus, usually at night or early morning.
I
I
often
hope
wondered if
people
you
put it
could
in the comments
pull-
if they've eaten them.
It's
and
called
they've had success.
coprophagy. Coprophagy.
That's the act of eating it out of the anus.
They redigest the nutrients and B vitamins and aminos that weren't absorbed the first time.
That's the act of eating poop.
Oh, what's it called? The act of eating poop. Now I got to memorize
I'm
this
really
word.
upset with you for knowing.
Coprophagy.
Coprophagy.
It comes from the Greek
Coprophagy?
word
Coprophagy.
korada.
Corona.
Yeah,
What's that?
poop.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
I believe you because
Yeah.
you're a convincing liar too.
Yes.
No.
Coprophagy is the act of eating feces and is normal in many mammals.
Oh.
Rabbits, rodents, dogs.
Democrats.
Yeah, they did it in when the
Solid.
settlers were settling the United States. They had a bad winter or a series of bad winters, and they were calling it the second harvest, where they would reuse the feces for the seeds. They'd get some more nutrition out of the seeds. Starvation.
There was that one guy who was always drinking his own piss.
Who?
Bear Grylls.
Yeah. Is that true? Was he always doing that?
No, he was actually staying at a Hilton that night.
Oh,
That was definitely my.
That was all.
I didn't know if they made that up.
But I think he's a legit badass. So less to be thought of otherwise. I think Bear Grylls was a legit badass, and whether he stayed in the place and was like, "I'm really thirsty right now, so I'm going to be drinking my own urine." You're like, "Nah, I don't think you're actually doing that. I think it's Gatorade."
Yes,
It looks
Bear
really
Grylls
good.
has drunk his own urine on camera during his shows.
Nobody believes that.
In one episode, purportedly set in the Australian outback, he drank from a bottle of his urine when no safer hydration source was available.
I got to go to the bathroom. All this talking.
Don't forget your bottle.
Ian's thirsty.
No one trusts Ian is doing something.
Think about Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
Man.
Hey, let me tell you something about this chick that's on the screen right now. She's complaining that no one's talking to her, but as soon as someone starts like aggressively talking to her, catcalling, whatever,
Lawsuit.
she's gonna start complaining.
Everybody knows the meme
Yeah.
where the suave-looking guy in the suit says, "Hey, darn, looking good," and she goes, "Oh, thank you." Then the fat guy with the glasses goes, "Looking good," and she goes, "Help, HR."
Yeah.
That's right.
There was actually
It could be the same guy in real life.
there was a funny meme about
Makes it worse.
two attractive people were kissing in a park, and the woman had her leg up, and everyone's going, "Aww," and then it was two old, morbidly obese people doing it. And everyone's yelling like, "Get out of here! Get a room!"
I feel that way about both of them, but that's just because I'm.
So that's offensive for the first group.
It is less offensive if they're attractive. Yeah,
There isn't-
You do get a pass if
People
you're more,
pay to see it. They'll go to the movies and watch
They will.
sexy celebrities. Look, did you guys
Mostly
hear?
women will pay for that and drag men along with.
I want to pull this up. Did you
Pretty
guys-
privilege is real.
It is real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're an attractive person, you can get away with a lot more.
There's
than if
been
you're
studies too that have actually shown that people attribute more intelligence the more
yeah.
attractive people are. So we get like some of these news types that are out there and they have a relatively attractive face and they get credit for being smarter. When we listen to them, we know that they're not.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.